Hello, welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Wednesday, October the 8th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, today was an interesting day for me because I actually thought this was going to be the first day in which I was going to be able to talk about any trades. Today was FOMC day, the release at 2 p.m. And I think after yesterday, I was certainly gun shy like a lot of people. The market was obviously hugely down yesterday. And so it started, here is the pre-market, and it tried to pop a little bit, and then it just started to decline again. And it looked like, we're just going to go into another steady decline. And I was really struggling finding anything to trade. All the bounce plays, they weren't working. I took a look at a couple and, there were some very minor bounces, but there was no follow through. So, on days like today, and especially on FOMC days, I tend to sit on my hands a lot. Now, I'm not the type of guy who trades 10 or 20 stocks a day anyway. I mean, probably I'm only trading 3 or 4 stocks a day at best. I mean, sure, there have been days where I've traded maybe 6 or 8, but I would say typically I'm only a 3 to 4 stock trader a day. And so today, though, I was really, really struggling trying to find something. But what caught my attention was this action in the SPY here as it was leveling out. And then just before, now here's 2 o'clock. You can see 2 o'clock is right here. And here's where the minutes are released. This is a 5-minute chart. But you can see that there was some action just ahead of that, and now almost as if, quote unquote, they knew that it was going to be positive news for the market. And so, on that with that basis, I decided to try to look for, I have to back up. I had already been following this stock, HNT. It was in one of the strong sectors for the day. Now here's 2 o'clock right here, and you can see that it had a nice little pop, a little pullback, a big pullback, and then kind of steady for the rest of the day. A little bit of a pullback here, but this action here caught my attention, and so I was already watching this. And so when I saw the SPY do its thing about the same time that this was, I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to take this trade, put in a stop 46.10 right at the bottom here, 46.09, I guess, and I took the trade at 46.25. Now, it could have been a reckless trade, to be honest, because the SPY was moving up ahead of that. Again, just take a look at the SPY. So the SPY was moving up. This is almost the identical candle for HNT. And just because it was moving up, it could have been a head fake. We could have had a crash on the crash. We could have had a big down candle on at 2 o'clock, but we didn't. Basically, and this was really encouraging because not only did it trend up, but we didn't see very much whip action. Usually, even eventually when the trend is up, we could see this first candle being up, and then the next one being down, the next one being up, the next one being down, and then finally it picks a direction. In this particular case, the direction was picked and it just kept going. So that made my HNT trade our true winner because, again, I got in at 46.25. And oh boy, I see the market still got 45 minutes left, and it's still surged up. And I took out half of it for a 50-cent gain at 46.75. And then as it was making its way down, when it broke below this red candle right there, as it was making its way down, I took the other half out at 46.69. And I was happy to do that because, at this point, who knows what's going to happen? It could have just continued down. But I see it is very, very strong. And so, maybe I'll watch it tomorrow. Let me just check on a daily chart what this is looking like, because I think that also. No, it's nothing special on the daily chart. You've got all this resistance up in this area. There's not a lot of blue sky ahead of it. So, but at any rate, today it did very, very well for me. And but I fully admit that this was a bit of a gamble because, just because the SPY was doing this did not mean that in 5 or 10 minutes it could have just completely reversed and gone down. But perhaps it was because I really didn't have a trade to talk about that I decided to take the trade. But it worked, and I guess that's the bottom line. That's all that really counts. So That is it for me today. And let me just bring back the cover page. I hope to see you in the room tomorrow. This is the address to get in. And again, you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account and see you in the room tomorrow.